Years of living alone had turned the silence into his only companion. The ranch was empty. The land was endless. And Nathan Hale had grown used to hearing nothing but the whisper of the wind and the groan of old wood. But this morning, the silence was shattered. The violent sound of horse hooves tore through the air like thunder across the prairie. Nathan looked up, frozen in place. Riding straight toward him was a woman he had never seen before. She moved like she belonged to the wind itself. Her long black hair was caught in the breeze. Her posture was straight, unbreakable. And her eyes carried the calm of deep water. And the fire of a warrior. She was Japanese. And yet, she rode like the Wild West had been carved into her bones. The horse stopped just a few feet away. She dismounted without hesitation and walked toward him. No fear. No doubt. Nathan could not move. Then, she spoke. "I am tired of standing alone in this world," her voice was soft, but unshakable. "I am tired of being without a man. And you are the one I have been looking for." Nathan's hammer slipped from his hand. It hit the wooden porch with a dry, heavy thud. His heart pounded violently in his chest. "Wait," he stammered, What did you just say?" She did not react. No embarrassment. No hesitation. She simply stood there, as if what she had said was the most natural truth in the world. The silence stretched on. So long, he could hear his own heartbeat echoing in his ears. Finally, she spoke again. "I will return tomorrow. Think carefully." Then she turned away. Mounted her horse. And rode off into the wide open land. Until nothing was left but dust. And the echo of hooves fading into the distance. Nathan didn't move. 3 years of isolation had not prepared him for this. Nothing ever could have. And that wild declaration was the beginning of a story he had never even dared to imagine. That night, Nathan barely slept. He sat beside the flickering oil lamp, trying to make sense of it all. A Japanese woman. On his desolate western ranch. Claiming that she had chosen him. There was no logic in it. When morning light finally touched the fields, his heart was still racing. And then, he heard it again. Hooves. She had returned. Just as she promised. This time, she came alone. No warriors. No guards. Only her, and the wind beside her. Nathan stood on the porch, trying to steady his breath. She stopped in front of him. Her expression unreadable. Yet her eyes shone with quiet sincerity. "You truly meant what you said?" he asked, his voice uncertain. She stepped closer. "I have been watching you for 6 days." Nathan froze. "You work gently," she continued. "You do not destroy. You do not shout at the world. You respect what you cannot control." He swallowed hard. "And that is why you chose me?" he asked. She nodded once. "In my homeland, many believe strength is loud and aggressive. But I do not believe that." She stepped onto the porch now. So close, he could hear her breathing. "I need a man who knows that real strength is quiet, steady, patient." He had no words. No one had ever seen him the way she did. And for the first time in years, he felt seen. "You can still say no," she added softly. "I will not force you. I only chose you first." Then she stepped back, leaving the choice in his hands. The sky darkened that afternoon. Heavy clouds rolled in like angry spirits across the horizon. Wind tore through the fields. Rain began to fall. Nathan stood on the porch, staring at the roof. It was old. Weak. Rotting in some places. She studied it with a sharp eye. This roof will not hold, she said firmly. The storm will break it. I can fix it tomorrow, he muttered. No, she cut him off. Tomorrow is too late. She looked at him. You must climb now. Nathan felt his stomach tighten. He had always been afraid of heights. But her voice held no doubt. He grabbed the ladder. Leaned it against the wall. His hands shook violently as he climbed. She held the base of the ladder. I am here, she said. You will not fall. Rain poured over him. The wind tried to tear him away. The hammer slipped once. Nearly falling onto her. You are fine, her voice cut through. Later that night, they sat inside. A small fire burned between them. Its light danced on the wooden walls. And painted moving shadows across the room. She poured tea into 2 cups with careful hands. You are different from the men in my homeland, she said quietly. They seek power. Status. Control. And you? He asked. I seek peace, she replied. She placed a cup in front of him. In Japan, I was taught discipline. Honor. Restraint. But my heart has always been wild. She looked into the fire. That is why I came here. To understand that part of myself. He watched her carefully. You came all this way, just for that? For that. Her gaze shifted to him. And for you. Silence again. But this time, it felt warm. Not empty. Not lonely. The wind howled outside. But inside that small cabin, 2 distant worlds were quietly finding each other. You are a cowboy, she said. A man of open land. And you are a storm from the ocean, he replied. A small smile touched her lips. Maybe fate is not as divided as we think. Their fingers touched. It was unplanned. Unspoken. But it felt inevitable. 2 lives. 2 histories. 2 souls. Intertwining at the edge of the world. Dawn arrived quietly. Golden light stretched over the prairie. The storm had passed. Nathan stood outside, staring at the open land. For the first time in years. It no longer felt empty. He heard her steps behind him. You stayed, he said. She nodded. I told you. I only choose once. They walked together through the tall grass. No rush. No fear. Just footsteps aligned with heartbeat. You know, he said softly. I never believed anyone would come looking for me. She stopped. And turned to face him. Some souls are not lost, she said. They are just waiting to be found by the right eyes. Wind passed through her hair. The sky burned blue above them. And for the first time, Nathan smiled without sadness behind it. There was no need for promises. No need for grand speeches. The land itself bore witness. A Japanese heart. A cowboy spirit. Under the same endless sky. And in that silence. That wide open freedom. 2 destinies finally became one.